Hey guys, welcome back to the Play On Footy channel. My name is Bailey and today we're going to be looking at the round 6 action for the weekend. The first game of this week is tomorrow. So I'm recording this on Wednesday, so tomorrow's Thursday. So it's going to be Saints versus Bulldogs. And there's been a bit of a change up with the player selection from Bevo. Now, Bevo obviously has been a lot of scrutiny since the game against Bombers last week. And he's gone with some interesting additions for this week. So for the Saints, they've got Zach Jones coming in, and Max King's a big omission. He's out, I suspect, with that knee injury. That's a big loss for them as a Big 12 sort of target up forward. For the Bullies, they've got Rory Lobb, Riley Garcia, and James Harms coming in. Going out is Yukel Hagen under personal reasons, so you can still look into that as you will. Not sure, what's going on there. Got Tom Liberatore, who quite clearly had some sort of concussion where he collapsed in the game against Bombers. And another big out, which I'm sort of surprised about because I rate him as a player, is Oscar Baker. So he's coming out. The last time these two teams met, it was the Bullies it was the Saints that won. Last time it was 41-92, so the Saints actually got up. This time, however, considering Bevo's loss last week against the Bombers, which really was a bit of an upset, I'm still going to go the Bullies. Main reason is because Saints don't have Max King as a tall forward, so that is my reasoning there. However, with the selection they've got, I'm not fully convinced, but I'm going to tentatively go the Bullies for that one. The next game is the Crows versus the Bombers. This one's on a Friday night at Adelaide Oval. The last time these guys met, it was the Bombers that won, 115-97. We don't have any ins or outs currently at this stage. However, the Crows are coming off a upset win, as are the Bombers. I think it's going to be a highly anticipated game. There's a lot on the line for these two clubs. I think Bombers are really just chasing that consistency under the new coach Brad Scott, and for the Crows under Nix, I just feel like they really obviously were hungry last week against Carlton, but this is a big test for them. It's funny, the Bombers, I didn't really rate them going into this season. They are a bit of a a bit of a bogey team in a way currently. But yeah, the Crows, I don't feel like they've got that depth so that the Bombers do have. Admittedly, they are still missing Peter Wright, 2-metre Peter up forward. But Goldie and Draper and the ruck have been doing really well, and I think they can nullify O'Brien pretty well and get some good clearances out of the middle. So that's the reason why I'm going the Bombers for this game. Next game is Saturday, Pies versus Port. Again, no ins and outs at this stage. This one's at the MCG. The last time these two teams met was the Pies that won at Adelaide Oval against Port. It was 83-85. This game, again, a lot on the line for, both teams in a way. Even though Port got up against Dockers, they still want to, keep that role going. And against an outfit such as the Pies at the home ground at MCG is no easy task for Port. Again, Port's record at the MCG isn't that good. But again, you'd think that Port, having the list that they have, could get the job done against the Pies. So I'm going to go the Port Power. I do believe that the Pies are going to be a lot better than what they've been in the first 5 rounds. But I just definitely think that Port Adelaide have a game style which is basically run around their midfielders. If you're going tail of the tape, I believe Port midfielders do have that edge. Finlayson out isn't a huge loss, I believe, for Port. They do have Mitch Georgiades who's come back, and he is looking in really fine form. I think he kicked like 3 last week or 4, and the week before that, a similar number. But yeah, he's looking really good. So I think Mitch Georgiades is going to be up early and probably kick three, I reckon, for that game. So I'm going to go Port Adelaide. Next game is Carlton versus Giants. This one's at Marvel, again on the Saturday. The last time these two teams met, it was the Giants that won at Marvel against Carlton. Carlton have Sard out with that injury, which really does kill their run-off halfback, which is a big out for them. However, Giants do have Sammy Taylor, real key component of the back line, out, as well as Cornelio with that knee. Could be a couple of weeks. However, I'm still going to go Giants. I think, with the game style under Adam Kingsley, I do believe that they're in a stronger, better position. But in saying that, though, I think Carlton will be coming out with a certain sort of, I want to say edge, but they are going to be wanting to make a statement, especially after that really narrow loss to Adelaide. So will that start the beginning of the end for Carlton, and maybe they lose this one to the Giants? Who knows? But I definitely am going to go for the Giants. I've just got a better feeling on them. They normally play really well at Marvel as well. Their track record at Marvel is pretty good, so I'm going to back the Giants in and get the job done, I think. Next game is the Lions versus the Cats. This one's at the Gabba. The last time these two teams met, it was the Lions that won at the Gabba, 64-53. Again, there's no ins and outs that are off AFL.com at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to go the Lions in this one. I think they're really strong at the Gabba. Their effort against Melbourne, I mean, you sort of look at it, you go, well, was Melbourne just having a bad night? And Lions were just killing it. But I honestly I think Lions have found their groove now. And Chris Fagans has got his troops up. And yeah, I firmly believe that Lions will just have that run over the Cats. I do believe Jeremy Cameron's going to kick a bag in this game, and I think Big Joe Danaher is going to be stepping up as well. I think McCluggage in the middle for the Lions is going to be really showcasing his skills and getting a lot of the ball, especially with Zach Bailey out, who does sort of give them that option up forward. Unfortunately, he's out, but Cammy Rayner will probably step up as well. And Dempsey for Cats, he looked really good against North Melbourne last week. Again, it's a game that was really hard to gauge from the Cats last week at GMHBA. But I just think form-wise, from what I could see off the past game, I think Lions are definitely in the better position to win this game. Therefore, I'm going to go the Lions. Next game is Derby 58, Eagles versus Dockers. I'm actually really excited for this one, not only because it's Harley Reid's first Derby, West Australian Derby, but it's his first real big game in a way, especially for the state of WA. This one's at Optus Stadium in Perth. The last time these two teams met, it was the Dockers that took the candy. It was 33-134, so 101-point victory. I don't think it's going to be as much as that this time around, especially with the additions in the cavalry that Eagles have. I do believe that with the addition of Harley Reid in the middle, also got good defenders down back, Barras, McGovern, even Brady Howe's been really stepping up this season, and Hunt as well down there. We've got that sort of foundation. And if Waterman kicks a bag like last week, we'll be in a better position, the Eagles, than we were in that game, the last game that we played against the Dockers. Hopefully Darling can step up. For the Dockers, I'm going to be really looking forward to seeing Luke Jackson. Potentially, he's probably most likely going to be in the ruck for Darcy. I just don't know how much game time they'll be giving Darcy in this game. As well as Tracy and Amos up forward. I think that would be a really intriguing duel, definitely for them. And then seeing the back line of the Dockers like Luke Ryan, as well as their captain, Alex Pearce. That's the one. So yeah, hopefully he can get up. I think it'd be a really tight contest to a degree. When I say tight, it's probably going to be a couple of goals. I'm going to suspect it's going to be around the 5 to 6 goal mark, but I believe the Dockers will definitely get up. The next game is Sydney Swans versus the Suns. This one is on the Sunday. This is at the SCG. Last time these two teams met, it was Sydney who beat the Suns 114-90. I definitely think Sydney will get up, being the home ground. Stars like Isaac Heaney are going to be really pumping for Sydney, as well as big Grundy in the middle. I think he's been a great addition to the Sydney Swans, quite frankly. Him against Witts for the Suns, I think it's going to be an interesting duel. I obviously do believe that Grundy is more aerobically fit and agile than Witts. Up forward as well, I think McDonald's going to be really ominous. As well as the back line, I really like Blakey off half back. He really does give Sydney that quick sort of rebound. And for the Suns, I'll be watching Cloesi, Graham, as well as Took Miller and Matty Rowell as well. So yeah, that would be an interesting sort of duel. But I'm going to be tipping Sydney Swans just because of the home of ground advantage, but also the way that they're sort of coming off that fresh bye as well. So that they'll be ready to hit it from the get-go. And the last game of round 6 is North Melbourne versus Hawks. This is sort of the battle to get an actual win, which both teams are really longing for. So yeah, the last time these two teams met, it was the Hawks that won by 48 points. And I believe that North will win. I believe, given the fact that the Hawks did get, I guess, schooled in a way against the Suns, I just feel like North's midfield, although they're young, they're a lot better than the Hawks midfield. And their forward structure, without Ginnivan, they don't really have much of a forward line. Like Hawks have got like Blake Hardwick that went from the back line forward. In the Pies game, that worked pretty well. I think he kicked like 3 goals or something. But then against the Cats, against the Suns, I think they did that once, and he did kick a goal. But hopefully, if they return that, the Hawks might be a bit more of a chance. But I just see North with Larkey up forward, and the way their mids are sort of constructed, especially with Cherry, is pretty good in the ruck, to be honest. I just see them getting on top in this game. What do you guys reckon? Who are you guys going for? Which is your favourite game of the round 6 that you can't wait to see? Mine's definitely Derby 58, being from WA, and I support the Eagles. I'm looking forward to that game. But also Carlton versus Giants, I think it's going to be an absolute ripper. Can't wait for that one. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.